All right, so I'm going to put this video, I'm going to record this session here on Zoom, and I'm going to put that video of this recession right there in that spot. So if you were to have missed class for some reason or another, then you can gather the instruction. Let me make sure. Is it recording? Is it doing? Oh, yes, it says it's recording. Okay, good. All right, so the video instruction will go right here. Example three, calculating installment plans. All right, we're going to calculate installment plans. So we have the Carpet King. The Carpet King is a business that sells carpeting. They're trying to increase sales, and they have instituted a new promotion. All purchases that can be paid on the installment plan with no interest, as long as the total is paid within the first 6 months. So all purchases can be paid on installment plans with no interest, as that makes things simpler for us mathematically, as long as the total is paid within the first 6 months. So there is, however, a $20 minimum monthly payment required. So at minimum, someone's got to pay $20 a month minimum as a payment towards this paying on the installment plan. Okay. If the Schuster family buys carpeting for $2,134 and makes only the minimum payment for 5 months, how much would they have to pay in the 6 months? So the Schusters are like, well, we ain't got the money to pay for the $2,134 now. What's the minimum we could pay for as long as possible? And then we could just pay you everything else we owe you on the 6 month, if it's 6 months interest free. So this can be a common business practice where you're offered a discount, especially with no finance charges, that where you can kind of save a bit of money. Okay, so if the Schusters pay $20 for 5 months, right? The first 5 months, they're paying the minimum, which is only $20. That's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So 20 times 5 is 100. So they're really only paying $100 in that first 5 months. So we subtract the $100 from the total cost. So $2,134, that was how much the carpeting cost altogether, minus 100 is $2,034. The Schusters will have to pay $2,034 in the 6 month. That's what they will owe in total on the 6 month. If they don't pay this amount in full, then they will get charged a finance charge. They'll have to pay some interest. Here's an example of something I found online of an advertisement from a place that's selling furniture, and they say, shop where you want, pay in monthly installments, right? So you can buy furniture in monthly payments or installments. All right, so a similar situation. Raymore and Flanagan is a Rochester furniture dealer. They're trying to increase sales, same kind of situation, instituting a new promotion. All purchases can be paid on the installment plan with no interest as long as the total is paid in the first 6 months. All right, there's still a $20 minimum monthly payment required. If Katriana was to buy a sofa for $2,599 and she only makes the minimum payment for the first 5 months, how much will she have to pay on her 6 month? Let me give you some time to kind of see if you can puzzle this one out. It's pretty easy, I think, but I could also understand if you struggle. How about this too? In participants, give me a green yes check mark for, oh yeah, I got this. This is easy, and then a red no for no. This actually, I don't know how to do this. Okay, all right, fair enough. I got one person saying, no, it's kind of hard. 2 people saying it's kind of hard. Okay. Anybody else?
And I'm lost.
You're lost. Okay. If I got 3 people lost, then I just need to show it to you how you do it. All right. So Katriana, all right, so the sofa is going to cost $2,599. She's going to put this on this installment plan for 6 months, right? But she has to pay the total in 6 months, otherwise she's going to get charged an extra fee. She's going to pay the minimum payment. She's going to pay the minimum payment for as long as possible. So if she's going to pay for 6 months, if she's got to pay the total in 6 months, then she's got to pay the big payment's got to be at the end of 6 months, and for 5 months she's paying the minimum. All right. So the minimum is $20. So $20 times 5, that's the 5 months that she's going to pay the minimum. That's $100. All right. So now she's paid 5 months of the minimum. On the 6th month, she's got to pay the rest of it, whatever's left over. right? So now we're just going to use a subtraction. It's going to be the $2,599 minus the 100, and I don't even need a calculator for that. That's unusual, right? That's going to be 2,499, right? That's pretty easy, minusing $100. So Catriona owes $2,499 on that 6th month. That's all. How about
Where
this?
do you see that problem? Because I'm looking at it, and I mean, I'm not looking at it. I don't know where we at.
Oh, did I not put the classwork down? Okay, yeah, I got the link for the classwork. Let me put that in the thing. So you want to go to day two. Day two. So if it was me, I click on this, it'll say I've already responded. I'll click I want to edit my response. Click on edit my response. All right, this has got me. I'm at day one. When I click on, I'm always on day one when I start. So this is day one, instructional support. I got to go all kind of scroll down to the bottom. I scroll down to the bottom of the page of day one, and there's what I call a teleport question, which can take me to the other days. So I keep scrolling down until I get to the bottom, and then I'll have this question right here. Do you want to save before moving to the next section? And I'll say no. I don't want to save. I want to go to day two. I want to go to day two, and I'll click next. And when I click next after going to day two, it'll take me there, right? And how I know it, because it'll say day two right there. Have you found it now?
Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, so, and then we just did this problem on day two. It's the Raymore and Flanagan problem on day two. It's right under the couch picture. And the answer was $2,499, right? That's what Catriona will have to pay at the end of 6 months. If she only pays $20 a month for 5 months, that means $100 total. She pays, and then at the end of that 6 month, she's got to pay this lump sum of $2,499 in order to not get charged a finance charge. Okay, credit scores. So there's this thing called a FICO credit scores, and I really like this graphic because it gives you an idea of what it should be, right? 700 is considered a pretty decent FICO score, a credit score. If you have a 700 or above, then you're considered an excellent trusted person to loan money to, right? If you've got 700 or above, you'll get all, banks and lending institutions will offer you all sorts of loans and opportunities to borrow money if your credit score is good. If your credit score is just 650 to 700, that's considered fair. So then you'll still get loans, but the interest rates will be higher. The terms will be shorter. These kinds of things. If you have a credit score in the 560 range, you can still get credit, but again, like the interest rates now are really high. The terms are really short. The payments are very high. There's usually lots of requirements for like large down payments and things like this. They really want to make sure they get their money back, and if they're gonna take a risk on you, they're gonna want to make sure they're getting their money back. So they know that a lot of people who have this kind of credit score are probably not going to be able to make their payments. So they want to make sure they're making a lot of profit on this to make up for that. And then credit scores that, are in the 300 category, you're going to really hard. The only credit offers that people will get in this category are terrible offers that are ripping you off something fierce, right? They'll get, sometimes like these cash checking places, they'll cash a paycheck and they'll take like 20% of it or 15% of it, which is like highway robbery. So this is kind of this gives you an idea of where good credit is and where better credit is and what happens for different credit scores. That's the FICO credit score. All right, Mike. So we have example 4. I'm on day 2, example 4. Here's the situation. Mike has a credit rating of 720. So to go back over here, 720, yeah, that's pretty decent. Mike's got decent credit. Tyler has a credit rating of 560. Going back over here, 560. Yeah, Tyler's is on the verge of not so hot, right? Mike and Tyler apply for identical loans from Park Bank. Mike is approved for a loan at 5.2% interest, and Tyler is approved for a loan that is charged 3 percentage points higher because of his inferior credit rating. And the question is, what interest is Tyler charged? Okay, so we're not told what interest rate Tyler gets charged, but we're told that his is 3% higher than Mike's. Well, Mike's is 5.2. So if we add 3% to 5.2, Wolf can find out that Tyler is paid 8.2%, right? That's that 3% extra plus the 5.2. 3 plus 5.2 is 8.2. So now we know that Tyler is going to pay 8.2% interest for the exact same loan that Mike is offered. Let's see. We could, and then they're going to show us a little formula. There's a little formula that we're going to use called the simple interest formula right here. Simple interest formula. It's called, sometimes we'll call it I equals PRT. I equals PRT. What that stands for is interest equals, let's see, principal times the rate times the time. And I know that's a lot. I don't expect you to memorize this formula right now. We'll get to eventually. You'll probably get to the point where you'll have it memorized. But if we were to look at it this way, if Mike's going to borrow $3,000, Mike and Tyler are each going to borrow $5,000. I'm sorry, $3,000. Sorry, they're each going to borrow $3,000. Mike is charged that's the principal. So what they're borrowing is the principal. Both borrowing $3,000 right here. The rate is their percentages, and it's expressed as a decimal. So they took the 5.2% of Mike, and they expressed that as a decimal out of 1. And they took the 8.2% Tyler's getting charged and expressed that as a decimal out of 1. And let's see, this loan is going to get paid back over 3 years. It's going to be paid back over 3 years. So 3 goes in as T, time. So we have the interest is going to equal the principal times the rate times the time. All right. And if we run this calculation on our calculator, we find that Mike is going to be charged an interest of $468, while Tyler is going to be charged $738 for borrowing the exact same amount of money. All right, we getting this? That Mike is paying only $468 to borrow $3,000 for 3 years, whereas Tyler is going to get charged $738 to borrow $3,000 for 3 years. They're borrowing the same amount of money, but Tyler's going to pay almost double because Tyler's credit rating isn't so hot, right? So that's that kind of the takeaway here. All right, so we have a situation here. Keyshawn has a credit rating of 740. Eric has a credit rating of 570. So let's go back. 740, 570. Let's see. 740 is good credit. 540, yeah, not so good. So Keyshawn's doing great. Eric, not so great. So Keyshawn and Eric are approved for identical loans of $5,000 from M&T Bank. All right, they're going to get identical loans from M&T Bank. Okay, Mr. K's helping us out in the chat. He's saying interest equals, okay, yeah, all right. Keyshawn has a loan approved for 4.9%. Eric is approved for a loan that just charged 4.5% percentage points higher because of Eric's inferior credit rating. What interest rate is Eric charged? All right, I'm going to clear the participants. Give me a green check mark for I got this, and a red no for I don't know. Hit me up in the participants section. Give me a green yes check mark for, oh yeah, I can solve this. I got this one. And a red next. Yeah. Okay, Cayman's got it, good. It's really just an addition problem. Okay, you're already saying no. So that's the problem with word problems, is even if it's simple addition, it's like, well, what do I add? What do I add what to what? And that's why these word problems are difficult. But the reason why I use them is because in real life, we got to set the problem up ourselves, right? All right. So I'm told that Keyshawn is approved for a loan of 4.9%. I'm told that Eric is approved for a loan that is 4.5 percentage points higher. All right. So 4.9% plus 4.5 percentage points higher. Oop, I didn't mean equals there. I meant plus. There we go. Now I want the equals. I got to figure out what that would equal, right? So I pull up my math machine. Oh, and I misplaced a decimal there. That's going to mess me up. 4.9 plus 4.5. All right, it's gonna be about 10, like 9.7, I'm guessing. Something. 4.9 plus 4.5. 9.4. 9.4. All right. That's why I shouldn't do math in my head. 9.4. 9.4%. That is what Eric is going to get charged. If he's getting charged 4.5% more than Eric, who's getting charged than Keyshawn, who's getting charged 4.9, then Eric's going to have to pay 9.4%. Okay, that's part one here. Same situation, same situation, but now we're actually going to do this the simple interest formula, which is I equals P times R times T. All right, so we know what Eric is charged. He's charged 4.9%. I'm sorry, Keyshawn's charged 4.9%. I got to quit misspeaking here. Eric is charged 4.5% higher, which is that Eric is charged 9.4. We just calculated that. Use the simple interest formula to calculate how much interest that Keyshawn will pay over 4 years. All right, I'm expecting most of you are going to be like, I can't do this right yet. Give me that green. Give me the green or the red. Green or the red. Tell me if this is good or not so good. I'm expecting most of you will probably give me the thumbs down on this one. That's okay. I don't see anybody. No one's giving me anything. Okay, I got one person saying maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so ready. So here it is. The interest. I don't know what the interest is. I'll just call it I. It's going to equal the P. The P is principal. So I got to look for how much money are they borrowing. How much money are they borrowing? Oh, they're borrowing 5,000. So I got to put 5,000 in my formula. Times the R. The R is the rate. The rate. So I'm looking at Keyshawn's rate. Keyshawn's rate is 4.9%. So 4.9%, I got to divide that by 100. Ooh, I got to quit misplacing that decimal point. Dividing by 100, right, to get that into a decimal out of 1. And if maybe you can already do that math in your head. 4.9 divided by 100 is going to be 0.049. If you can't do that in your head, that's fine. You just go 4.9 divided by 100 in your calculator. And boom, 0.49, right? And then T is time, right? T is time equals time in years. How many years are they doing this loan? I'm scanning the problem. Oh, it's 4 years. 4 years. Scanning, looking. I got 2 minutes. Thank you for timekeeping me. So 4. All right. So I just run this through my calculator. 5,000 times 0.049 times 4. Simple interest formula says $980. That Eric will get charged $980 for this 4-year loan. That's the interest he'll pay. He'll have to pay all $5,000 back plus $980 for the privilege of having borrowed this money. All right, and I know I have 1 minute left, so let me calculate this one a little bit faster. I is going to equal. I'm calculating now. How much will Eric pay for this loan over 4 years? Oh, how much will Eric pay for the loan over 5 years? It's going to be 5,000. That's how much he borrowed, plus $980. That's how much he pays in interest. That's going to be $5,980. So it's asking how much will he pay for the loan over 4 years. I got to add the interest with how much he borrowed. He has to pay back everything he borrowed, plus all the finance, plus all the interest. And I probably should stop there. Try to finish up the last 2 questions on day 2 here. Trying to finish up these last 2, and we'll see you Thursday. And we'll wrap up. We'll start on day 3. All right.
I'll see you guys Thursday.
All right. Oop, and I can stop the recording.